What is water? Drop Nation got that water. What is water? Drop Nation got that water. A fluid the most abundant and most necessary for living beings of any nature. Of any in nature except air, water, when pure, is colorless, destitute of taste and smell, ponderous, transparent, and in a very small degree, compressible. It is reposited in the earth in inexhaustible quantities, where it is preserved fresh and cool, and from which it issues in springs, which form streams and rivers. But the great reservoirs of water on the globe, that's the hijack, are the oceans, seas, and lakes, which cover more than 3/5 of its surface, and from which it is raised by evaporation. We're talking primary water. Do we need that evaporation, or do we got primary steam from the primary volcano pushing that primary mem into the primary rock? We got water out the rock, and we on our most shaped flow. Hey, what is water? Drop Nation got the water. Shout out to the tribe, Shabbat Shalom. We coming right out that mem. Right out our Shabbat into that MeMsauce. Love to Yosef the real. Hey, I'm just on the coattail of my bro Yosef the real, looking into this primary mem for real. Look out for that Yosef pack. We're gonna make sure we have it on there for that Yosef pack coming in hot. That primary water, the primary mem recon. Hey, the bro did 3 great installments of primary mem recon. I just want to bring it back into our awareness as we do things like tribe up and buy land, and even land that is not near water, necessarily. It's like we got to readjust our own orientation when it comes to water. Hey, what is water? Drop Nation got that water. Oh yeah, we don't have to follow those water cycles we've been taught. Love to Yosef. Love to the great recon by Stephen Reese. We're gonna get some good content, some good substance. I just feel like it's time I'm not gonna really meditate on mama. You know what I mean? That MeMsauce. And when we talk fountain of youth, it's time to really see it for real, for real. Because you might think it's more important to talk about vaccines. I believe it's more important to talk about that water. Because if you don't understand that water, you know what I mean? Managa, you ain't doing yourself no survival, no living, um, you're not bringing nothing of vibrance into your plan, your orientation, your flow. Water got to be a part of our flow more than ever right now. Where we're at, where we're going, tapping in, not just to drink water because I'm thirsty, but to get your memory back. That mem got the memory. To get your healing on. We're going to connect with Yosef and ride this wave and enjoy just remembering about our water, what the water really is. I mean, if I ask you what is water, what are you going to say? A bunch of this stuff? A fluid, most abundant, most necessary. You going to say all that, man? Did this tell you anything about what water is, man? Did this tell you anything about what water is? Oh, by evaporation, uniting with the air in a state of vapor is wafted over the earth, ready to precipitate in the form of rain. Come on, man. Water is being born every minute of every day through the volcanic activities within the earth, Managa. And that primary steam gets pushed up, Managa. And through that, connects into that primary rock, Managa. And that primary rock, them geysers they call them springs they call them, that's brand new primary water that's just been born from within mama. It didn't take precipitation, evaporation, no vapor, unless we're talking about that primary steam vapor coming up from the volcanic flow. The dracon popping off is giving you that brand new birth of primary water. And this primary water is more than just something you drink. It restores you. It's the healing dew. I mean, anything that's medicinal, anything that's healing coming out that water, got to be connected with the fountain of healing. You think it's play that King David got the drop on the fountain of youth? Solomon got the drop on the fountain? Managi, what's the secrets? What are they protecting? You think you was all just born to die, or were you born to live forever? So everyone's saying, yeah, one day everyone gotta die. Everyone gotta die. Wow. Wow. That's life. That's existence. That's what we on. Maybe you'll be the generation that never tastes death. Maybe that will be out of your consciousness forever, your awareness forever, that you don't have to die. You just got a KTC. Get to that water. You think vaccine talk is important, man? I believe in the tribe being led back to that water. You think that's a myth? Halal HaWah. I believe that when we make our tribe aware, they're going to make aware decisions, like not getting that tenderoni jab, like staying away, you know what I'm saying, making sure that they are, out of the way of the hijack and, tribing up in real time. You got to focus on what Nagas are actually doing, buying land, getting out the way, building a fence, and everything else you don't see on YouTube or not. It's happening. It's all happening. Nagas is popping off all across the earth plane. So while we worried about vaccines and mandates and what they gonna do, let's put our energy into what Nagas are actually doing, growing their own food, getting their gardens right, getting their prep on, getting their martial arts training on, getting their endurance up. Now that they got their orientation, Hosea 3, seek HaWah and King Dawi, then you get led to the water. But you had to check in with Amma Abba, your framing, your shaping. That gave you living water for real, my nigga. You got living water for real, my nigga. You don't need the water cycle they taught you in grade school. You got primary water, fresh born water coming right out the earth bone, man. And we don't get none of that. We don't get none of that healing dew in the bottles out the store. All this water just helps us live now. So we stay alive. This water don't help us remember. This water don't heal us no more. Water is supposed to be medicinal. It's supposed to heal you, man. That water. Drop Nation got that water. The color of or luster of a diamond or pearl. Yeah, that's water. Yeah. Waters are crystals, right? They freeze, they crystallize. As a diamond of the first water that is perfectly pure and transparent. Who want that pure water? Hence the figurative phrase, a man or a genius of the first water that is of the first excellence. Oh, water is a name given to several liquid substances. So that would make it kind of a generic term, you know. Water of the pericardium or dropsy. Hey, shout out to the drop, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Drop Nation. Yeah. When we talk about having a drop, we're talking about being that pure water, that water that has been purified and pressurized and all that, man. You got pressurized to get one single drop, man. That pure water is the healing dew. That's you, my nigga. That's why we call you Drop Nation, because you got the drop. Mineral waters are those waters which are so impregnated with foreign ingredients. Now, why would it be a foreign ingredient, such as gaseous, sulfurous, saline substances, as to give them medicinal or at least sensible properties, man? So I don't know why they would call it a foreign ingredient, but I guess they're saying, what comes out of it is something that is like medicine, mineral water, or at least sensible. What's sensible, man? Properties. I mean, if you're making sense, it means you got some wisdom, you got some mama. So this medicinal has to do with getting that primary MeMsauce left to Yosef. It has to be a connection there with the fountain of youth. Because any primary water that heals you has to connect to the fountain. So, I'm just letting you know it's about to go all the way up right here, digging on water. The bro's also going to break down, I'm saying, all these elements. And I wanted to make sure we, call it all the way up, man. It's time to call out that water, what I'm saying, and keep that water flowing. Hey, we're talking superior men, what I'm saying? Love to the bro. We're talking superior men, higher men, upper men. So when the bro breaks down superior water, that MeMsauce, know that we're talking about the upper room. The upper room. Yeah, that's that. See, everything got order. Not all water is created equal, my nigga. Not all human beings are created equal. There's order over chaos. The upper room. Ain't y'all tired of drinking, inferior water? Ain't you tired of paying top dollar for inferior water just so that you and your family could say you drunk such and such water today? Oh, I got alkaline water. I put limes in my water. Man, that water ain't shit, man. It ain't nothing, man. Even with your lemons and limes, even with your treatments, even with your recipes. All right, you got more alkaline. Good. But your water ain't nothing. It's not even superior. It's not from the upper room. But Managa, if we can tap into these, you know, uh, natural springs, right? I mean, the real ones, you know what I'm saying? That's popping off with this primary men flow as we'll get more into it, surfing with my bro Yosef. But I mean, when a Naga could tap into this primary water and get the Nagas to remember, imagine if the Nagas can get this superior water coming fresh born, popping off right out of mama, not bottled up, not treated, straight MeMsauce. Imagine getting that to the Nagas. I want us to meditate on that. I want us to come together with that type of focus, with this type of purpose. Every video you watch, there should be a purpose, you know what I'm saying, and what you're going to get out of it, man. The babies you're going to get out the bath water. Right now we're talking about the upper water, superior water. Yeah. Higher in rank water. You know what I'm saying? Love to the bro. More exalted water. You got to be talking Dawi. You got to be talking Khan David. If we're talking dignity, superior officer, superior degree of nobility, you gotta be talking Khan Da We. This ain't no play, Managi. And we just popping off because they just now tuning in. They got that water. This is King David or Prester priest, king, Prester John. All one and the same. Hey, call it Moshe, you know. All one and the same. HaWah. He got that water. Got that water. The nation got that water. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Wow. Why said unto me, go yet love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress according to the love of HaWah towards the children of Israel, who look to other gods. You can't get the water if you're looking to other powers, my naga. Yeah, that's why you think you are born to die. That's why you think everybody must die. It's just the evidence, right? It's obvious, right? Wrong. You don't see clearly. You forgot who you are. You went after other guys and left flagons of wine, so I bought her. Bought who? Bought you, my naga. For 15 pieces of silver, for a homer of barley and a half homer of barley. This was the price to pay for the whore. This is the price to pay for the harlot. And I said unto you, you shall abide for me. Right? So HaWah is giving you a metaphor of buying a harlot, buying a whore, right? Buying a hoe, right? I'm gonna get my hoe back, because you ain't supposed to be no hoe. So you're gonna stay with me many days. And you're not gonna play the harlot. You can't be no hoe no more, Israel. American, you can't be no hoe no more. You shall not play the harlot, and you shall not be for another man. You can't call on no other gods no more. You're going to be for me. So will I also be with you. For the children of Israel. Yeah, we're talking specifically to you, not the whole world, but to the Nagas that are the children of Israel. If this ain't you, stay about this conversation. Ain't got nothing to do with you. You're talking about our scrolls and things, right? Fall back. My Nagas, listen up. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king. So you've gone many days without any royalty, any nobility. Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, none of them gave you the royalty, my Naga. Yes, you're fighting for survival. You're fighting for against oppression, but that's your fight now. You forgot to be a royal. You don't even know who you are. None of them gave you your nobility. None of them gave you your land. None of them bought land for the Naga. Marcus Garvey said to go to another land. None of them got your land back. So you've gone many days. Did Obama do anything for the Naga? Was he a king? Was he a noble? Or was he a president, a worker of a corporation? Many days without a king and without a prince and without sacrifice, without an image. You don't even know what a royal look like. But you look at yourself every day in the mirror and forget who you are. You are the royal, because you are the children of the Creator. It gets no more nobility than that. You're the children of HaWah. It gets no more noble than that. It's the highest rank, which is why the Prester is the highest rank. Over the Pope, over all this is the Prester, my naga. And that represents you. You see that book he's holding? This is why afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek HaWah, their power, and David, their Khan. And shall fear or shall come trembling, some translations say. HaWah and his goodness in the latter days, man. We're talking about the end of so-called time. You're going to be aware again. You're going to return. And when you do, you seek your framer, shaper, which we got before. You got to seek your mama and your daddy. Proverbs 8, Proverbs 4, go dig on it. Because what happens when you seek mama? What happens when you seek wisdom? Life happens, my naga. Life happens, my naga. The water happens. That's why you seek mama. You seek your daddy. Mama delights your daddy. Mama's one with your daddy. Proverbs 8. Then you get the you get the paths to even look for that water, right? You get David, who got the fountain of youth. Because you can't talk fountain of youth without talking Prester John with King David. Just do a, obviously we know we coming in hot. Prester John installment number 71, my now. Let's go. Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? They didn't start looking for the fountain of youth until they started looking for Prester, for King, for the Khan. You understand? You understand? Prester John. This popped off the Crusades. This is what they're looking for. And they barely started looking for the fountain of youth in the last 500 years. The fountain of youth in Ethiopia, right? While most of us associate the fountain of perpetual youth, the fountain of perpetual youth with the new world, that's us, right? Ain't we the so-called new world? So they're saying to us that most of these people, these scientists, associate the fountain of perpetual youth with America, especially Florida. Are we digging on it? That has only been the case for the last 500 years. I'm telling you, my nigga. We telling you. They've been looking for Prester John for what it looks like 500 years. And you say, what man do you look for 500 years, my naga? Unless he got that water. Drop Nation got that water. King David, Prester John, 500 years, 1145 to 1645. So they knew that the fountain of perpetual youth is in the new world. They're looking around Florida, but Florida is much bigger, Halal HaWah, than that state of Florida today. Florida was a bigger region than that, right? That has only been the case for the last 500 years. So they started looking here for the last 500 years in America. At the same time they discovered you. They looking for the Prester because they want the fountain of youth. They want the cities of gold. But I already told you. I mean, just look up fountain of youth. I mean, see if you can separate the fountain of youth and Prester John. I mean, you look up Fountain Youth and Wikipedia. Yosef's gonna touch on a lot of this greatness, man. I'm just popping off. I can't wait. I couldn't wait to come back here, man. And the bro Yosef has above and beyond, man, extraordinary. He's truly a master, when it comes to reconning and delivering the high frequency, the information and the vibration. So to Yosef and the entire The Real Tribe. The fountain of youth, a mythical spring, a mythical spring, a mythical spring. What's a spring? A spring is a point at which water flows from an aquifer to the Earth's surface. Wait a minute. What's an aquifer? Okay. I mean, look, we're talking hydrology in your face bone. We're getting a little science, so you don't mind us. It's just Drop Nation. We got that water. Drop Nation got that water. An aquifer is an underground layer of water bearing permeable rock. Right? What's permeable rock? In fluid mechanics and the earth sciences, is a measure of the ability of a porous material to allow fluids to pass through. Got it. What is a porous material, my nigga? Porous material is a material containing porous voids. The skeleton portion of the material is often called the matrix. So something's permeable. Obviously, it's the more permeability it has, the more water can get through it or whatnot. I mean, on the surface, but permeability is the fluid mechanics and earth sciences is a measure in fluid mechanics is a measure of then you got to say what's fluid mechanics, right? But it's a measure of the ability of a porous material to allow fluids to pass through it. And we're getting that the porous is also called the matrix, right? Or frame, like framer, right? Got ping pow. Hey, we popping off. Y'all just doing your thizzle. Y'all doing your thing, Drop Nation. Because we wouldn't be here without y'all. We wouldn't be popping off without you. The skeleton portion of the material is often called the matrix, right? Or the matrix, left to the bro natural by law. Or the frame, like the framer. The pores are typically filled with the fluid. The skeletal material is usually solid, but structures like foams are often also used or usually analyzed. All right, so it goes on this pore. All right. I mean, I gotta check this out though. So fluid flow through porous media. Fluid flow through porous media is a subject of common interest has emerged a separate field of study, the study of more general behavior. Porous media involving deformation of a solid frame is called poral mechanics. The theory of porous flows has applications in inkjet printing and nuclear waste disposal technologies, among others. I'm trying to see how it connects with, if they've brought it with this lava flow. Because the more you dig, it just goes back to these volcanoes. The concept of porous media. Okay. The skeletal material is also used as a solid, but structures like foams are often usefully analyzed using concept of porous media. A porous medium is most often characterized by its porosity. Other properties of the medium: permeability, tensile strength, electrical conductivity, tortuosity, can sometimes be derived from the respective properties of the constituent solid matrix or fluid and the media porosity and pore structures, but such a deviation or derivation is usually complex. Even the concept of porosity is only straightforward for a poroelastic medium. All right, we're getting deep into the sciencey, but I guess the more pores, it gets that sponge flow going on. The more permeable, the more fluid is getting through it. And an aquifer is an underground layer of water-bearing permeable rock. Rock fractures or unconsolidated materials, gravel, sand, or silt, groundwater from the aquifers can be extracted using a water well. We're talking about building our well. Well, because we got to pop our wells off next. Enjoy world. Shout out to Clayvon Hunt, Angela Edwards, Dracan Canoe. Please keep the water flowing for Drop Nation, because this is where we got to pop our wells off. We're also looking at tapping into the primary water right here on our land, and this is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing. This is called action. We put our money where our mouth and our heart and our soul is. We could have done a lot of different things with our time, with our energy, and definitely with our currency. When we put that into a purpose, we ask you to support it. You know what I mean? To spread the wave, to spread it around. This should be spreading like wildfire. I need my noggins on, on that job, doing that work for a while right now. I mean, this is our time. We hit this mark. We're going to hit every single mark, period. You know what I'm saying? But it got to start right here. Blue, purple, red, white, linen, gold thread. Help us build our fence. Let's fortify our kingdom, my noggin. And let's keep it going for Nagaville, for Joy World. Hey, Halal HaWah. Halal HaWah. For Nagaville. Halal HaWah. Code keepers know what time it is. We're talking about water wells, the study of water flow in aquifers. And the characterization of aquifers is called hydrogeology. Remember these terms? We're going to be surfing this wave a bit more, this primary water. Related terms include aquitard, which is a bed of low permeability along the aquifer, and aquiclude, or aquifood, which is a solid impermeable area underlying or overlying an aquifer, the pressure of which could create a confined aquifer. Aquifers can be classified as follows: saturated versus unsaturated, aquifers versus aquitards, confined versus unconfined, isotropic versus anisotropic, porous, karst, or fractured transboundary aquifer. Okay. Now, challenges for the use of groundwater from aquifers include subsidence, saltwater intrusion, salination, and groundwater pollution. So those are the challenges to get that water pure. But, remember what we're talking about. We're talking about a spring. A spring is a point at which water flows from an aquifer. Okay? So we got the aquifer, and now the water's flowing. You got a spring. We got springs popping off. We got springs popping off, man. Yeah. We got mythical springs popping off of mythical aquifers, mythical porous rocks, okay. Let's go. Allegedly restores the youth of anyone who drinks or bathes in its waters. Tales of such a fountain have been recounted around the world for thousands of years, appearing in the writings of Herodotus and Alexander Romance, and in the stories of Prester John, my man. Yeah, the good old Prester. Last 500 years, they're looking for the fountain. Because what did Prester say? Huh? Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? What did old Prester John say? Or King David? Or Prester John? Yeah. Or King David? Right. Or Prester John? Because they're just talking about that water. Whoever drinks of its water 3 times without having eaten will have no illness for 30 years. medicinal, right? Mineral water, and when he has drunk of it, he will feel as if he has eaten the finest meat and spices. See, everybody got to be down with this water conversation, which is why I'm so grateful to the bro Yosef the real, because everybody got to get down with this, man. We're talking pure water. All tribes want that. If we're talking cities of gold, to be listening, because all tribes want that gold, right? Yeah, my naga. We're just talking about pure water. Pure water. Yes, we can. Yes, we do. Hey, let's pop off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Hey, man, that's one of the first drops we put together, man. Hey, had a good time, man, putting, some great tunes together, man. We call that Yes We Do. That's a 4-3-2 mix, to get you up, to get your ankle bones, moving while we get ready for this primary water with Yosef the Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Let's go. Yes, you do. 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 Hey, man. Anyone who has eaten will have no illness for 30 years, and when he has drunk of it, he will feel as if he has eaten the finest meat and spices, for it is full of HaWah's grace. A person who bathes in his fountain, whether he be of 100 or 1,000 years old, will regain the age of 32, my naga. 32. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is why they listening. You gotta listen if you're talking fountain of youth, living water. You think it's a game? You think it's a joke? How can they been looking for it over here in the last 500 years? Huh? You think it's a game that they looking for a Prester for 500 years? And only in 1645, after they've confirmed that they found you, my naga, you, my naga, you, my naga, they suddenly gave up the search, right? They're not looking anymore for the Prester, right? Does Prester have the fountain? Does the Prester, did a black man discover the fountain of youth? Does the Prester have the water? Huh? Does the Prester have the water? This King David, this khandrop have the water. And afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek HaWah, their power, and David. their king, and shall fear HaWah and his goodness in the latter days. Yeah. Why you think they looking for David, man? Does the king have some water? Yeah, yes, you do. 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 You got that water. Tribe Nation got that water. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So if they're seeking Con David, Priest King, Prester John, boy, sister, you better be looking for the Priest King. You better be looking for the Prester. You better be surfing the wave. See, we have a very original and unique philosophy at Drop Nation. You want to know? Let me show you how original this is. Let me show you how original we are. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Creator and King David. So we seek the Creator by keeping the code. Exodus 20 got us in code. Read about it. You do that work. You do that work. And David, well, David got that wall. That MeMsauce. Halal HaWah. The fountain of youth, the mythical spring was a spring. Let's go. Allegedly restores. What did David just say? What did the Prester just say? Anagas, we listening? Whoever drinks of its water 3 times, having eaten of it without having eaten, will have no illness for 30 years. And when he has drunk of it, he will feel as if he has eaten the finest meat and spices. For it is full of HaWah's grace. A person who bathes in this fountain, whether he be of 100 or 1,000, will regain the age of 32. Know that we were born. It's not just about me, my noggin. It's about we. You rock with ThaWaDa. You rock with the whole tribe, the whole team. David don't do it for David. You think David is doing it for David? If David's doing it, Hosea 3, verse 5, wouldn't be telling you to seek the Creator and ThaWaDa. If David is just doing David, you know what I'm saying? Especially not in the latter days, my noggin. Unless he got that water. We were born, and Baruch in the womb of our mother. What? 562 years ago, we were born. We, Manaka, we were born and blessed in the womb of our mother 562 years ago. What man do they look for? I don't know. For 500 years, man. 1145 to 1645. Sometimes you got to make it very simple. Sometimes it's more simple than we make it, you know. Sometimes it's right in our face, bro. We were born. We were Baruch in the womb of our mother 562 years ago. We, Manad. We got that water. We got that MeMsauce. Come on, man. Let's go. Hijack City, man. Hijack City. You got too much of that MeMsauce. Let me reload this link, man, because I gotta get this. I gotta get this piece, man. They don't want to make that dismount before we pop off in the classroom of the bread. Yosef the Real. Look out for that Yosef the Real pack. 9 Spiral popping off. What it do? Great project from the bro. 9 Spiral and Yosef coming in hot. Let's go. We were born. We were Baruch. We, Manat. In the womb of our mother 562 years ago, and since then we have bathed in the fountain 6 times. So this mythical fountain has been used at least 6 times by the Prester, and this letter was in 1165. In other words, Prester John was letting readers know by the miracle of the fountain of youth, he was 562 years old and going strong. Oh, we supposed to die, drop. Life cycles, drop. We born to die. 562 years old and going strong by the miracle of the fountain of youth. Nah, Prester John letting you know by the miracle of HaWah. Yeah, man. HaWah creates that water. What's water? Remember, we're asking a simple question. What is water? A bunch of wing wham? Are we talking mama? And are you getting the superior mama? Superior MeMsauce? He's 562 years old and going strong. This is back in 1165. Remember, it says whether they be of 100 or 1,000 years. You can't even imagine a life cycle of 1,000 years. Can you? In other words, Prester John was letting readers know that by the miracle of the fountain of youth, he was 562 years old and going strong as a result of the interpolation, building on the fountain of youth. Herodotus has identified Ethiopia 1,500 years before. You got to ask them which one, because Ethiopia is a generic term for a landmass of so-called dark-skinned people, man. So 500, 1,500 years before, Europe's difficulty in making contact with the Prester John then was of no moment. Silverberg argues for he was immortal and could wait a while longer to be discovered. Prester John, King David was in the most exclusive club of personalities who had staying power for centuries, not years, man, or minutes. He was immortal. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek HaWah and David. Why? Because he is immortal. Because he got that water. You got that water. So, we don't have to go crazy here. We can put things together. We can connect. We can connect the importance of having that water flow, what it means to be drop nation, what it means to be the drop, what that water, truly symbolizes. And we can get into the primary water and how we can tap back in to that water, that we've been missing for so long, that water that will always be connected with the Prester, the fountain of youth. Tales of such a fountain have been recounted around the world for thousands of years, appearing in the writings of Herodotus, Alexander Romance, and in the stories of Prester John, early crusades. Why is it the early crusades, 11, 12 centuries like this? This Portuguese monument in memory of the seafarers who searched for Prester John from 1145 to 1645. It's the same crusades that's popping off. It's the same black man. Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? Is the question of the day. And it's the same black man had the drop on the water in the latter days. This is this is what they're putting together. The amazing fact about the Negro. The amazing fact about the Negro, number 61. What myth of eternal youth in Africa inspired Europeans for centuries? Well, now you're realizing they're looking over here for this particular inspiration. They're looking over here for this eternal youth, for this immortality. This immortality. In memory of the seafarers who searched for Prester John, 1145 to 1645. What early crusades, man? 1145, Khan. What happened in 1202? Genghis Khan invasion of King David, Prester John. Stories of similar waters also featured prominently among the people of the Caribbean during the Age of Exploration, early 16th century. Wait a minute, 16th century. I'm talking 1645. In memory of the seafarers who searched for Prester John from 1145 to 1645, 16th century. They spoke of the restorative powers of the waters in the mythical land of Bimini. Now, Bimini is in the westernmost district of the Bahamas and comprises a chain of islands located about 60 kilometers due east of Miami. So Bimini is the closest point of the Bahamas to the mainland U.S., all right? Northwest of Nassau. Okay. Hey, we might be on the hunt, man. Based on these many legends, explorers and adventurers looked for the elusive fountain of youth and some other remedy to aging. Do you have to age? Must you age, my man? Or do you just lack that water? Generally associated with magic waters, these waters might have been a river, a spring, or any other water source said to reverse the aging process and to cure sickness. When swallowed or bathed in, the Prester said he took 6 baths. We, the whole tribe, took 6 baths. The legend became particularly prominent in the 16th century when it became associated with the Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon. The first governor of Puerto Rico, Ponce de Leon, was supposedly searching for the fountain of youth when he traveled to Florida, 1513. Now they're looking over here, right? Because they're searching over here, Con. Yeah, man. Ponce de Leon was supposedly searching for the fountain when he traveled to Florida, 1513. Ain't Estebanico popping off around this time? Esteban, looking for the cities of gold at the same damn time? 1530s? Legend has it that Native Americans told Ponce de Leon that the fountain of youth was in Bimini. Okay. Everyone's jumping in to bathe and get young, huh? Everyone's looking for the drop. We just got one question in Drop Nation. Did a black man, did a copper-colored Naga discover the fountain of youth, and does this belong to this same copper-colored Naga today? And is this why Hosea 3 says, right in our facebone, that in the latter days, the children of Israel will return? What does that mean to return? It means Halal HaWah, UKTC, MHOE, Most High over everything, right? You dripping in that MeMsauce? Oh, okay. Well, you got to get that MeMsauce, right? First, you got to KTC, keep the code. Then, in doing that, you are MHOE. You're putting the Most High first, Most High over everything. That's the key. That's the ticket, right? The ticket where? To that water. Wow. Because after you got that ticket to the water, you can get that MeMsauce, right? You seek the Creator. Then, now that you KTC MHOE, you can now get that water from Kondawi, who got that fountain. Drop Nation got that water. I said Drop Nation, Drop Nation, Drop Nation, Drop Nation got that water. You might want to talk vaccines. I'm talking that water. Because I don't believe this is no mythology. I believe our Nagas can find this water. Even if we find springs that are connected to the water, we can find this healing, body of water that can, make our people feel like they've eaten the finest meats and the finest spices. In other words, make your belly full. Make your belly full, right? So you don't need a bunch of food that you thought you needed if you got that water, Con. You don't need a bunch of food that you thought you needed when you can just take a couple sips of that water, have no illness for years, feel as if you've eaten the finest meat and spices, for it is full of HaWah's grace. A person who bathes in his fountain, whether he be of 100 or 1,000 years, will return the age of 32. Know that we were born and we were Baruch in the womb of our mother 562 years ago. And since then we have bathed in the fountain 6 times. Gonna get the drop out of Robert Silverberg's book, but this is also in the letters of Prester John, right there in the Prester John letters, Legend and Its Sources by Keegan Brewer. Crusade text number 27. Love to Aqua Tie Battle and the Battle Family. CJ, Aqua Sam, Aqua OJB. Baby girl, what it do? Loud. We got that water. We talk about the fountain of youth. Did a black man. Did the Prester have the drop on the water? And who is Prester John? Look out for Prester John 71. I almost went right into it, my Naga. I'm feeling it, you know what I mean? Con David is Prester John. Con David is Prester John. Priest King is Priest King. Or else he wouldn't be holding this big old book to KTC if this is not a Priest King or a Prester John Managa. This is the black man, the brother that they're searching for 500 years until they found you. They called the search off. They say the cities of gold must be over here. Florida must be where the founding youth is. Something about the Americans must be connected with HaWah. They brought a Hebrew interpreter to speak to us because they know they're in the promised land. Hallelujah. They're in Superior, India. What did it say? What did it say? Map of the day. Welt Carte, Ptolemachus, August, Ogabi, 1548. What did it say? Oh, we see Florida, right? But this ain't just the same Florida, state Florida. Look how big Florida. Look at all this, right? So this ain't the founding youth might be around here, man. Right? Be around here. In India, Superior. India, Superior. India, China, Mexico. China, Mexico, China, Mexico. The real China is near Mexico. The real Kana, the real Cateo, Cathay, India Superior. Florida, India Superior. Does North America even exist? Or are we just in India Superior? This is what they came looking for, Prester John. This is why they're searching for this so-called black man who got the drop on the fountain that they only connected with the New World for the last 500 years, man. This fountain of perpetual youth with the New World has only been the case for the last 500 years. Yeah, man. We're talking Prester John, the formidable priest king of ancient Ethiopia. Where's that? Love to Ronald Sanders. Lost tribes and promised lands. Ethiopia is a generic term for all you Nagas, wherever you are. So-called dark-skinned people, talking copper-colored Khans. That's Ethiopia. America, India Superior, is the real ancient Ethiopia. It's the ancient, it's the ancient Africa, if you look at it like that, with Ethiopia, with Egypt, or the ancient China, Cathay, Tartaria, you know what I'm saying? But, this is Nagaville. These are all titles for Nagaville. This is where Genghis Khan invaded by Naga. This is where King David will always be. The priest king. Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? We're talking about superior Nagas and superior India. India superior. Superior, higher, upper, more elevated in place. Superior limb of the sun. Superior part of an image. Image, right? You've gone a long time without your noble image. You went many days, my Naga, without a king. Without a prince, without sacrifice, and without an image. Oh, you forgot what nobility looks like. Khan. He's like Khan. No nobility, no superior. You're in superior India. They find a Naga in superior India. India superior. Superior, 1828 Webster Dictionary, right? Upper, more elevated place. Superior, part of an image. But you've gone so long without an image. Without an image, mana. This is why you seek the creator, right? And the image of your nobility, which has been forgotten. Halal HaWah. King David, only anointed Khan of Israel. Ezekiel 34, Ezekiel 37. Jeremiah says what? Jeremiah 30. David, whom I will rise up, I will raise him up. Why? Because he got that water. He got that MeMsauce, my nut. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Superior, right? We are talking superior image, higher in rank or office, more exalted in dignity as a superior officer of a superior degree of nobility. Khan. King David. Yeah. King David. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return, seek the Creator and David, their king, in the latter day. Hit the easy button, bread. Is that simple? No cap on my number 2 pencil. You seek the Lord their God, you must seek David, the superior image, leading you to that superior MeMsauce, that noble MeMsauce, higher or greater in excellence, surpassing others in greatness, goodness, or value of any quality, as a man of superior merit, of superior bravery, of superior talents, or understanding. Or not. Who is understanding? Come on, man. Come on, man. What did mama tell you again? What did mama say out of her own mouth? Does not wisdom call and understanding put forth her voice? Her voice. Her voice. So whoever understanding is a her. Is a her. So anything superior talents or understanding, you have superior mama. Superior MeMsauce. Superior Prester. You got understanding. Understanding puts forth her voice. Be of an understanding heart. They are all plain to him that understands. Who's understanding? Counsel is mine, verse 14, Proverbs 8. Sound wisdom. I am understanding. We're talking primary water. Primary ama. Primary understanding. Or superior understanding. Who's understanding? I am understanding. Power is mine. By me, kings reign. By me, kings reign. Solomon must pray for this. David must have it. Princes decree justice. By me, nobles, even all the judges of the earth, I love them that love me, and those that seek me earnestly shall find me. Riches and honors are with me. It don't mean you can't get them with your daddy. It just means that it's in order for your mama to give you these things. Yeah, enduring riches and righteousness. Ain't that what we asking for as we get out of this tenderoni pandemic, plandemic, whatever you calling it? Don't we want enduring riches, my nagas, and righteousness? Don't we want enduring riches and righteousness for our tribe? My fruit is better than gold, yes, than fine gold, and my produce better than choice silver. I walk in the ways of righteousness, which means mama's walking shoulder to shoulder with our Father, with our Shaper, with Abba. Mama's walking in Abba's ways. Abba's walking with mama's ways. They share these ways in the midst of the path of justice, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance. You gotta get that water. You gotta seek HaWah. When you seek HaWah, you got mama popping off. Then that leads you to the ThaWaDa flow. We're on Prester John 71, my naga. Before we knew what we were doing, we've been searching for ThaWaDa, but we had to get KTC. We had to seek HaWah first. Christianity has it backwards. They tell you to seek Jesus, because if you don't know Jesus, if you don't know their Christ, you can't know God. No, my nugget. If you don't know the Creator, if you ain't seeking the Creator, after the children of Israel shall return, if you don't seek HaWah, you'll never understand David, and you'll never get that MeMsauce. You won't pass the test to even get to this water. You need to connect first with the Creator. You don't go through Christ. You gotta go through their hijack to get to the Father. What? You go directly to the Father, directly to your mother to get to David, man. Then you get to David, and then you will respect, you will obey, you'll be KTC, my naga. In the goodness of our Creator, in the latter days. These are the days we're in. So we seek HaWah by being KTC, MHOE. Then we start dripping in that MeMsauce, rocking with King ThaWaDa. And that's how you seek the Creator and David, Hosea 3. Are you digging me? We're talking superior, man. Understanding. Who was understanding? I am understanding, says mama. So if you want to be superior, man, you better come with pure water KTC. You got to be in code with mama for true nobility, for the true image, for the true understanding. Being beyond the power or influence of, that means you got all power. What did mama say about power? I am understanding. Power is mine. Oh man, Halal HaWah. By me, kings reign. Did a black man discover the fountain? By me, kings reign. Prester John 71 coming in hot. I love y'all. Let's flow in the classroom of Yosef the real for not just a dismount, but just a continuation. I just wanted to surf a couple of the roots that the bro already laid down for a naga. Thank you, ThaWaDa Yosef, for all the work you've done to get it so far with that water, with everything you bring, bro. Make sure y'all tuning in every Monday, 10 o'clock Pacific, right here at 432 The Drop Radio, 432thedrop.com. Download the app. Hey, primary water, you can't talk it without talking that fountain. And you can't talk the fountain found the youth without talking about the stories of the Prester, the magical waters. Oh, we're just talking about primary water. So I'm a belly flop. I'll be jumping around in this. He has a three-part installment. You can go directly and get all that drop today. Do your thing. Support the bro. Make sure you're in the classroom of the real one. Yosef, the real, who got that water. Drop Nation got that water. And we in here. We're going to talk about Stephen Reese, some porphyros, phosphorus flow. And let's go, man. I'm going to jump right into the 50 mark, and I'm going to kind of go back a little bit, see what we got going on. Having a good time, man. Let's pop off.
Absolute insanity.
Insanity. Not necessary because of
It's
the technology
ridiculous.
that you've developed.
An article in the paper I got here before me today.
Not necessary because of
It's
the technology
ridiculous.
that you've developed.
An article in the paper I got here before me today is talking about treating 200 million gallons of sewage
Dragon
for
Child.
reuse.
Shout out to Dragon Child. I'm going to run that back. I'm in the drop chatting. We got that water flow.
Necessary because of
It's
the technology
ridiculous.
that you've developed.
An article in the paper I got here before me today is talking about treating 200 million gallons of sewage.
200
Let's go.
million gallons of sewage. They're talking about treating it. 200 million gallons of sewage. Come on, man. Come on, man. So what do y'all think is being done now? All right, I'm gonna show y'all the process, man. What y'all think being done now, man? What y'all think being done now, man? This man telling you in 1985 that that's stupid, that's dumb, that's ludicrous. But this world's so set up on money, you understand me? These elites so set up on getting they chunk, you understand me? That, hey, man, we got to put pipes down, okay? The man already told you that water is incompressible. Water is incompressible. Man, let's get it. Let's get it.
It's for reuse. Now, who in the devil would want to use sewage water again?
Oh.
When it's unnecessary.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
And your water supply you've developed.
An article in the paper I got here before me today is talking about treating 200 million gallons of sewage. It's for reuse. Now, who in the devil would want to use sewage water again?
When it's unnecessary.
It's absolutely unnecessary.
And your water supplies literally are limitless.
Naturally, they are limitless. They claim that the water...
Limitless. He just said that his water supply is limitless. All he pays is for his pump. Alright? He just pays for his pump to do the bid, to do the job, to do the work.
And just right quick, I know the volume's a little low. I got it up as high as I can get it. You know what I mean? I encourage you, if you got headphones, I just want to make sure you ain't missing nothing. You know what I mean? Put your headphones in, surf the wave. But you know what I'm saying? It does get a little louder, I think, in a minute. So fall back, surf the wave, listen very close. Put them headphones in if you got to. Yosef about to break it way up. Let's go.
These people out here got this system in play, man. Got this system in play. Well, we have bidded into this illusion of reality, okay? And it's all based upon lies, everything. Your water bill's a lie, my dude. You understand me? Primary water, it just told you, is limitless. Do I need to go in scripture to show you that primary water is limitless? It's limitless. He just told you it's limitless. He about to give you some more drop.
Let's go.
You think this flood come from? Noah. The floodgates was open, baby. Whether it's coming from up top or it's coming from the bottom, the water's been here. The waters have been here. The land came up under the water. So therefore the water's still down there. Come on, man. Put your dragon eye in perspective. Let's get Drakkar vision, man. This man telling you, man, it's insanity for us to retreat sewerage water. You understand me? It got shit in it. It got feces. Come on, man.
Is from the surface seeped in over long periods of time into the rock structure. Itself they claim that the water is from the surface seeped in over long periods of time into the rock structure.
So what people are telling him that this is water that has gone into this rock structure, like this rock structure must have turned to a sponge and sucked it up. And this is where he's drawing all this water from.
Let's go.
Okay, now check it out.
Itself an impossibility. Absolutely.
It couldn't go down through impervious rocks.
Neither nor below the zone of oxidization. The pressure there is too high for water to continue. Rock is twice the pressure or the weight from water itself.
Sure.
And water is incompressible, absolutely incompressible. Rock is more compressible than water. Long periods of time.
A rock is more compressible than water. My dude, you cannot compress the MIM. You understand what I'm saying? You can't. Okay? Now, if you want to imagine the strength, the power that the power has, my dude, this land on top of that. That's power, man. That's that almighty. You understand me? That's Yapa vibrations, man. This land sitting on top of water.
Come on.
He's giving you the drop.
Into the rock structure. Itself an impossibility. Absolutely.
It couldn't go down through impervious rocks.
Neither nor below the zone of oxidization. The pressure there is too high for water to continue. Rock is twice the pressure or the weight from water itself.
Sure.
And water is incompressible, absolutely incompressible. Rock is more compressible than water. This is the standard knowledge that we have had for a long time.
Incompressibility of water has been around, known for many years.
That's why it is used in the industries for pressure checking. And to talk about reclaiming water from sewage use for public demand, why, it's ridiculous.
So here we go. All right, water is a business. Water is a business. MEM is a business. All right, this MEM, okay, is full of phosphorus, okay, full of luciferian, okay, full of these parasites, okay. You're talking about retreating that to send it back out to the public. And we pay money for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, check this out. Pour water. We dig on poor water. What is poor water? Water poverty. Alright? In developing countries, about 80% of illnesses are linked to poor water and sanitation conditions. Okay? 1 out of every 5 deaths under the age of 5 worldwide is due to water-related disease. Clean and safe water is essential to living. Okay? Every glass of dirty water is a potential killer. Ain't no games, you know what I mean? When you're talking poor water, they'll give you poor water because it's degrading. You understand? Everybody, it's one thing about this world. They love negativity. You understand me? So they're gonna degrade whatever need to be degraded. You understand? Look, disease impact, water sanitation, water supply and health, lack of clean water, access to clean water, current water issues. Alright? That's poor water. I went to dug on superior water. What I get? Superior water, light power, superior. Talking about bills, company, power plants. Alright? Lake Superior. Okay? So we're talking about a mighty water superior. Okay.
Come on.
Lake. What's really a lake? All right. You know what superior is, right? You just got superior. So what is lake? To play, to sport is play without a prefix. Lake. A lake is a stand of water. Okay. From the root of lay. Lay. Okay. A large extensive collection of water contained. Okay. So this is a large and extensive collection of water contained in a cavity. See, that's when you know you're on the flat plane. That's when you know you got 360 perspective. You understand me? Water contained in the cavity. Where else you gonna contain water? It has to be a cavity in order for water to fill it in there. All right. Water just don't curve. You understand me? You ain't gonna see water just curving.
Pop off.
Something that's people playing tricks on you. I mean, these are illusions. You gotta understand where we live at again. All right. Paying homage to NASA. Stick a fork in yourself, you're done. You know what I mean? A large extensive collection of water contained in a cavity, all right, or hollow of the earth. Dig it. All right. It differs from a pond in size. All right. The latter being a collection of small extent, but sometimes a collection of water is called a pond or a lake indifferently. All right. Either one. Alright, so North America, alright, we're just talking about Tamari, okay, Tamari, okay. Tamari contains some of the largest lakes on the globe. What does that mean? That means that the indigenous of this land, copper colored, alright, had what? Had collections, okay, of waters, okay, ponds, lakes in North America contained, okay, largest, okay, particularly the lakes Ontario, Erie, Huron, okay, Huron, Michigan, and Superior. All right, talking Superiors must be Lake Superior, okay. Wow, Lake Superior. Let's dig on this Lake Superior because it's Michigan and Superior. Bam, Lake Superior. All right, so these are the upper lakes. All right, these are the upper lakes. The upper lakes. All right, all right. Let's get back to it. Lake Superior. All right, Lake Superior. French, Lac Superieur. Okay, Ojibwa. Okay, largest of the Great Lakes, okay, of North America, okay, of North America, okay. Tamari is also the world's largest freshwater lake by surface area, okay, largest freshwater, and the third largest freshwater lake by volume. So Naga was at home by his lake. You understand me? Lake Superior, the Ojibwa, okay? Come on, man. Y'all know what it is. Ojibwa, y'all know what it is. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
It is
Geechee
shared
Gum.
by the Canadian province, okay? Province of Ontario to the north, the U.S. state of Minnesota, all right? To the west, Wisconsin, all right? And upper peninsula of Michigan. To the south and the farthest north and west, the Great Lakes chain Superior has the highest elevation of all 5 lakes.
Halal HaWah. So clearly, I mean, you got some superior MeMsauce popping off around this Michigan, this Lake Superior, what they're calling all these Great Lakes connected with this highest elevation, man. You know what I mean? And then it drains into the St. Mary's water. Think about the Lady Miriam. I mean, it's a lot of MeMsauce popping around this Lake Superior. Yosef pop it all.
Drains into the St. Mary's River. Cool, cool. So when you're talking Lake Superior, my nigga, you're talking about Ojibwa. Okay, the Ojibwa. We already know who the Ojibwe, Achipwe, okay? Indigenous language of North Tamarica, okay? Tamari of the Algonquin, okay? Language, okay? Family. The language is characterized by a series of dialects. Dialects, what we talking, man? We're talking Hebrew.
Let's go.
Talking that have local names and frequently local writing systems. There is no single dialect that is considered the most. Let me get back one. Alright, y'all get it. Y'all know what we're talking about when we're talking about the Ojibwa. We're talking about indigenous. We're talking Algonquin. Okay? Algonquin. We know. Alright? So when you're talking Lake Superior, man, what are we really talking? Since we're talking Algonquin. Okay, the Ojibwa. Okay? Name for the lake is Gichigami. Alright, but we know that's what? That's Romanized. You heard me? Romanized. Alright, so it's got hijack with it. Pronounce Gichigami and Kichigami. Okay, in other dialects, meaning great sea.
And just think about that gam. I mean, even in a Romanized, flow, that gam, all this stuff is still connected back to, that Hebrew, like the bro saying that gam is third letter Hebrew, means gathering, gathering, walking, like an Exodus, like tribing up, like a Moshe flow, like a Hawata, Hiawatha. Hey, all roads keep leading back to Hiawatha and Tacoma, so we got to connect all this back together because we just talking about Lake Superior, and now we're talking Geechee Gami, Gam or Coon. We're talking walking, we're talking rising, we're talking tribing up.
Henry Watts Longfellow, okay, wrote the name as Gichigami. Gichigami, the song of Hiawatha. Oh, wow. All right. So, no wonder this Lake Superior is linked with the Ojibwe, all right, Algonquin, okay? And now we're talking Gichigami in the song of Hiawatha. Hiawatha, okay? Song of Hiawatha is in the 1855 epic poem in trotic tetrameter by Henry Wadsworth, okay, Longfellow, which features Native American characters. The epic relates the fictional adventures of the Ojibwe warrior named
HaWaDa.
okay, and the tragedy of his love for Minnehaha, okay, a Dakota woman, okay, all right. So this is a love story, all right, the song of Hiawatha, okay,
Romance.
So the Great Sea wrote the names as Gichigami in the song of Hiawatha. Did Gordon Lightfoot in his song The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. According to other sources, the actual Ojibwe name, the Ojibwe Gichigami, okay, Gichigami, Ojibwe's Great Sea, or Anishinaba, okay, Gichigami, Anishiba's Great Sea, okay, all right. The first one written for the Ojibwe language gives Ojibwe the name Ochipwe Kichigami, reflecting Ojibwe Kichigami. Alright. So we see that this lake, okay, is correlating with Hiawatha, okay, the Ojibwe, okay, Algonquin, okay, alright. So this is what's called Lake Superior, alright. And we got it. What's a lake? Okay. A large extensive collection of water contained in a cavity, okay? Standstill of water, all right? Lake Superior is talking about Hiawatha, okay? Hiawatha. All right, let's go. Let's get back to this drop.
It's
unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely.
So
to talk about reclaiming water from sewage use for public demand, why, it's ridiculous. It's
unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely.
So that the water, even the best water that can be obtained out of the water cycle,
checking. And to talk about reclaiming water from sewage use for public demand, why, it's ridiculous. It's
unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely.
So that the water, even the best water that can be obtained out of the water cycle, is by all standards poor grade water related to the water that you're finding below the surface of this granite.
That's right. Once the rainwater hits the ground, it immediately starts to absorb contaminants.
All the soluble elements that can be absorbed will be absorbed into it.
Always.
And all of the can be obtained out of the water cycle is by all standards poor.
What we talking about when we talk about this water cycle? When we talk about this water cycle, man, we're talking about when water's on the ground and it evaporates and it goes into the clouds and then the clouds redistributed as rain, okay? We're talking about a contamination. We're talking about parasites. We're talking about a water that is not drinkable, or water that is contaminated, or water that is full of parasites, vibrations that are not right for your body, within you. You understand me? No good. None yet.
Sewage use for public demand, why, it's ridiculous. It's
unnecessary.
Absolutely unnecessary. Absolutely.
So that the water, even the best water that can be obtained out of the water cycle, is by all standards poor grade water related to the water that you're finding below the surface of this granite.
That's right.
So the water cycle has what? Poor water. Shitty la la, right? Shitty boo boo, right? No good, right? None. Let's see what images you get for poor water. We ain't playing. Alright? This is what's coming out these people's faucets. Alright? Now understand they're gonna show a lot of melanation here. Okay? They're gonna show a lot of melanation here. Because Where's the poverty at? Who they're trying to really knock off, okay? If I run into a picture of a white kid on here, man, I'm gonna flip out. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? I don't have no problem with the white folks. None. As long as we on the same page. We all right.
Pop off, man. Pop off, man.
This is how these people get their water. Come on, man. Check it out. These is images. Overstand the images. Overstand the images, my knock. Look, they done dried up. They don't even have water. Saw under poured water. Pour water. Look, man, look at my people out here getting how to get it, man. You know what I mean? Look at that. People out here getting how to get it. The only way they know how to get it, you know what I mean? And that's just to get it. By all means necessary. You know what I mean? Damn. It's harsh, but y'all get it. Y'all get what we trying to, the message I'm trying to send to y'all. That's pour water. My nigga, that's what we got going on at our spot. Don't trip. That's exactly what we got going on at our spot. Pour water.
Once the rainwater hits the ground, it immediately starts to absorb contaminants.
Bam. Already. As soon as the rainwater hits, it immediately starts to gain contaminations of whatever, all kind of parasites out here. Alright?
All the soluble elements that can be absorbed will be absorbed into it.
Always.
And all of the contaminants that the precipitation washes out of the atmosphere on the way down through to the earth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And accumulate.
And accumulate.
You heard it. And accumulate. It's a cycle, man. So it's just getting stronger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no breaking the cycle. It's a continuous cycle. Then you got to think they're already shitting on us. They're already dropping all kind of metalloids on us. They're dropping all kind of stuff on us, man. Nagalates, man, they dropping all kind of shit on us. Y'all know what it is, man. We've been getting dropped. There ain't nothing new out here, man. We've been getting the end of the stick, you know what I mean?
That is the rub of it.
Now, as a health matter for public and personal health, water is absolutely an essential ingredient to good health, isn't it?
Well, not only that, but for the existence of life on the planet. Right, once the rainwater hits the ground, it immediately starts to absorb contaminants.
All the soluble elements that can be absorbed will be absorbed into it.
Always.
And all of the contaminants that the precipitation washes out of the atmosphere on the way down through to the earth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And accumulate.
And accumulate.
That is the rub of it.
Now, as a health matter for public and personal health, water is absolutely an essential ingredient to good health, isn't it?
Well, not only that, but for the existence of life on the planet, whether it's animal life, human life, or vegetation.
But all the water that is on the planet at the moment and that fills the oceans, ultimately, or primarily, has been generated from the source that you're finding now. Is that not so?
All the water that is now...
Bang, bang, bang. Look, man, let me tell you, bro. I just told you, dog, that all the water was here first, man. I'm trying to tell you, look, we know the scripture. The water was here. The land popped up. Okay, therefore the water had to go under. He's telling you water is incompressible. It's incompressible. The industry uses it for pressure, okay, to make money. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. The man just asked him that all the water that is on this land, on Amah, has come from primary water, from the core. From the core. Come on, let me rewind it. Just kidding.
Or primarily has been generated an essential ingredient to good health, isn't it?
Well, not only that, but for the existence of life on the planet, whether it's animal life, human life, or vegetation.
But all the water that is on the planet at the moment and that fills the oceans ultimately or primarily has been generated from the source that you're finding now. Is that not so?
All the water that is now coming to the surface by deep well drilling may be 1 million years underground old.
And the ceiling
Maybe 1 million years old. Alright. Alright, that's how old this mem is. That's how old this mem is. That's how old this mem is. Straight up.
Wow.
This mem been around. This mem has been around.
How real is that? So not only do you got primary, brand new, water being born every day, every minute, new water, but you also got the OG water that's already been here. That kind of reminds us of that Papa Vu, frame and shaper, he who frames, she who shapes, right? Or she who frames, he who shapes. I'm talking to Papa Vu. The Papa Vu, right? Hey, Yosef the Real, doing an excellent presentation. And, I hope you don't mind me, surfing this wave with you, my noggin. Back in, definitely on my, drop. That's the drop wall of fame, man. You know what I'm saying? I love this primary water drop, man. But what did it say in the sacred text of the Maya Quiche people about the framer and the shaper? The most frequently mentioned powers right here in America. We're talking about the Quiche people, the original Nagas. Let's get it back here a little bit. He keeps saying water was already here. Water is already here. And I'll make sure I leave this link so you can, has a, just use it as a great resource, man. Surf the wave. We're talking about pre-hijack. Oh, man. I'm about to get my tea and just enjoy, I love coming out the Shabbat hot like this, man. I love just popping off. I'm talking about he who begets sons, as they're called, along with Hanapu Possum and Hanapu Coyote, Great White Peccary, Coyote, Sovereign, and Quetzal, Serpent, or Dracan, Quetzal, like the beautiful Quetzal birds, the rainbow birds. We're talking about a rainbow dragon. Rainbow dragon. Heart of lake, heart of sea, right? We're talking about that water. Creator of the green earth and creator of the blue sky, as they are called. Now, this is to the indigenous Maya Quiche root Nagas. This is how they saw the creator. Now, we talk HaWah, breath and security. You see how it comes together. Creator of the green earth, creator of the blue sky. I created it. I beat it out. Rakwa. I met it out the firmament. Shamayim. I pulled it like a tent, right? Creator of the green earth. That's why they keep saying earthly mother. But we know Ama is, right there as the first of his works of old. So it's more than an earthly thing. It's an heavenly thing. It's a frequency. It's a greater light thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're just talking about water that has already existed. And that's not to say that the creator did not create water. It's to say that by the time you got this pop offness, think of it as, the earth plane, right? We got the flat plane, and you got all these pockets of earth, all these craters, right? All these pockets, where there's water and land floating on top of that water that does not compress. Love to the bro, Yosef the real. We're talking framer and shaper. So which Genesis is this beginning? All these pockets of earth, saying weren't created at the same time. All of these suns being put in these geothermic pockets, right? Where this sun is now burning this hole or this circle around to create an atmosphere into what would be, ice or water, you know what I mean? But now you have a temperature that the water can flow in this geothermic pocket. Now we call this one Earth. You keep going beyond Antarctica, you're going to find some more and more and more, right? So Genesis is which one? I mean, Genesis is not the creation of all these geothermic pockets, but if you can imagine Abba coming up on another one and saying, hey, let's pop this off right here, right? Now they're using something that's already, really in existence, you know what I'm saying? It's just about the creation as we know it with, you know, sea animals and flying birds and people and boom, 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 boom. Now you're creating into another geothermic pocket. Con. I mean, we look up, you know, worlds or, lands beyond the poles. I mean, yeah, you could look at this Japanese map here to kind of give you a reference. That there's more land beyond the pole, and that all this is relevant to the water, to what my bro Yosef is clearly breaking down, right? So, Japanese map, they say 1,000 years old, yada yada. Now, this is just more land popping off. So, in Genesis, which areas are we focusing on? Are we just focusing on our area right here? Was there something already there before? I guess, would be a great question. Was there something already there before that now this element is being applied to this particular area? When you look up lands beyond the pole, worlds, earth pods, maybe something like that. Look at some images of that, making a great dismount here. Obviously, you see ones that we use all the time. In worlds beyond the pole, you see more land, more worlds. Some have those like those math Powerland drops that had the ones with the you kind of see the artistry of kind of a sheet of ice, and you just saw the geothermic pockets. Let's see if I have it in my downloads. Hey, love the Five Eyes Mom, man. Go check out that upset. We might have to get that for the dismount. Charged up. Lands. Yeah. More. Yeah, none of those worlds. try earth ponds, man. I don't know. It's like a particular, shot that I love looking at. Is that one right here? Let's check this one out. This is close to it. So, all right. As we get back into the superior men, just think of the frame and the shaper mobbing up, walking up to another geothermic pocket. So every circle you see will have its own sun, its own moon, its own situation, right? You know, outside of the wall, outside of this Antarctica flow, more worlds, right? You got ice, Antarctica's the only continent you got to climb up on hundreds of feet to get to the top of. So that's not like a normal continent. It's more of a boundary or barrier. You get on that barrier like Admiral Byrd did, you know what I mean? You keep going straight. Thousands of miles, you're going to find more land. Into another pocket. You gotta get down up in it, and now you're up in it. And then you gotta climb up. Antarctica surrounds us. Antarctica surrounds us. Either way you go, you're gonna run into Antarctica. It's an ice wall like Game of Thrones. You get on that wall, right? They want to protect the wall because they don't want you to know what's going on outside of this, right? More worlds beyond the pole. So you got Genesis in the script, right? In the beginning, HaWah created the earth, right? So all these things, first day, second day, third day. How does that apply to these other geothermic pockets? Are they going through the same first day, second day, third day? Or are they already popping off? And by the time HaWah is creating this particular area, not that it's not important, I think it's the most important. I think we're part of the most important show on the whole Nagaville. All this is Nagaville. All of this is Nagaville, right? But we're focusing right here because this is all we've been taught. This is all we know. So how does Genesis 1 apply to all of these earth pockets? How does it apply to a framer and a shaper that's using matter that already exists? Because it's already happening. You're picking up Genesis 1 in your particular geothermic earth pocket, man. Earth pond 1, earth pond 2, earth pond 3, earth pond 4, 5, 6, 7. So is Genesis the genesis of all the earth plane or of this particular earth pond? And would it make sense looking at the frame and shaper flow, looking at the Papua, where it says the framer refers to one who makes something by putting things together, building a stone or adobe, a mill from various ingredients, or a woven cloth from individual threads. Blue, purple, red. Let's go. The shaper refers to one who makes something by modeling, or molding pottery from clay, or a sculpture from carved stone, thus giving shape to an otherwise amorphous substance. The framer and the shaper are the most frequently mentioned gods or powers, my naga, involved in the creation of the world and its inhabitants. So by the time the hijack comes over here to see us, you and me, the most frequently mentioned powers that they're hearing about, the most relevant power that they're hearing about involves a framer and a shaper. Your breath, your security, wow. In the Hebrew verb, HaWah is existence. Refers to your mother, one who makes something by putting things together, wisdom, understanding, right? I am understanding. By me, kings reign. I am understanding. That means that you can put things together. That means that you can put a meal from various ingredients. A shaper, your father, is your vibe, is your vibration that shapes you, forms you, molds you. You have a shaper framer, thus giving shape to an otherwise amorphous substance. So it doesn't mean that the substance doesn't exist. It just means that it's amorphous, or it doesn't have a shape yet or a frame yet. But the frame and the shaper are the most frequently mentioned powers involved in the creation of the world and its inhabitants. Their names imply that the creation involved giving frame and shape to matter that already existed. Yosef said the water is already here, right? The substance is here. The substance is here, my nigga. We just have to give it frame and shape. We just got to pop it off, man. The substance is already here. Amorphous substance. The framer and the shaper are the most frequently mentioned powers involved in the creation of the world and its inhabitants. Their names imply that the creation involved giving frame and shape to matter that already existed. They came upon another earth pond and popped it off. The water is already connected to these other earth ponds. It's already happening. This ain't the first merry-go-round, my naga. We're smart enough to know that there's history beyond history beyond history, Khan. So where are you picking it up in your history book? Where are you going to pick it up in Genesis at? Or the Genesis they give us, right? The beginning they give us, Khan. When is the actual beginning? I mean, I guess now you're surfing the wave. But when is the Genesis story popping off, the Adam and Eve? Do you believe Adam and Eve was the first man and woman on the entire earth plane of Nagaville? You don't believe that with your heart bone, do you? Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, even the novice scholar will tell you it seems like there's already a clan of people popping off by the time Adam and Eve is already popping off. What earth plane are they on? What earth plane are they connected with? All this is connected with that superior MeMsauce. And that fountain, man, it's probably a connection of the greatest energy of the entire earth plane of Nagaville. And the vortexes and the positioning and the orientation. That's why it's so important to learn the orientation, because we are in a very important piece. This isn't just another creation. We're a part of something that's connected to everybody, everywhere. Their names imply that the creation involved giving frame and shape to matter that already existed, rather than conjuring something out of nothing. In Christianity, abracadabra, boom, boom, bow, right? Reality, they use matter that already existed rather than conjuring something out of nothing. Earth Pond 1, Earth Pond 2. This pair of power was so important that soon after the Spanish conquest, Father Domenico de Vico used their quiche names to refer to the power of the Old Testament. Why not the New? Got 'em. Body bag. Hey, say it with me. Body bag for the illusion. There must be a separate God of the Old Testament for them to make this distinction. This God of the Old Testament must not be the God of the New, or else Father Domenico de Vico would not have made a distinction between the two. He says, Father Domenico de Vico used their root name, their quiche name, to refer to the God or power of the Tanakh, of the Old Testament. He says that power, that framer shaper, is their power. That's the God of Israel. That's the power of Israel, the framer shaper. But you would have to connect that to the Mayan quiche and know that these Americans are the home of the Iberu, Iber, Kiveria, Ania, cities of gold, Kalelu. Your history, your story starts here. This is that superior MeMsauce, that framer shaper flow, that HaWah breath and security flow. And that is the power of the Tanakh. Not that new covenant, because you didn't get there yet until you freed out of this particular flow. You didn't had your Exodus yet. You know what I mean? So how could you have a new covenant or a New Testament? All they did was make phantoms and duplications, and Yosef the real is the best at slicing through the phantoms and the duplications, the typologies, man. Make sure you're tuning in to Tokef Banach, Energy Frequency Tokef Banach, every Monday, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Anagi, at 432thedrop.com, exclusive to get that Yosef the real. Because he might be slicing through Caesar's Messiah, but I can't wait till we get back to the primary MeMsauce. Because my bread, that water continues, man. And we're going to get some more for the dismount, man. We're having a good time, enjoying the flow, popping off right out of our Shabbat, coming in hot. You know what I'm saying? Framing a shaper, using matter that already exists, using matter that already exists. That's what Yosef's saying, that the water already been here. Look at how far it go. Look at how these oceans, how far they go beneath this ice. Imagine when HaWah removes the ice, just like we don't need a firmament forever to separate the hijack, because the hijack going to be out of here. Can't exist in our frequency. No more dominion for you. Halal HaWah. So no more firmament needed, no more ice needed. This is your land. All beyond the poles is Nagaville. Be prepared to accept your real kingdom. Nagaville, the beauty of Nagaville. Imagine all this land coming together. So you ain't got to sail 1,000 miles. Imagine it all coming together. Imagine how vast Nagaville's going to look when HaWah brings it all together. This pair of powers was so important that soon after the Spanish conquest, Father Domenico de Vico used their quiche names to refer to the power of the Old Testament. The Tanakh has a different power than that new. And Father Domenico Vico told you in 1983, you had to drop, that there's a God of the old, and that Isus, that Zeus, that Jeez, that Zeus is the God of the new. That Yahweh, that's the God of your new. That's why you say we got to check in with him first before we get to our creator. You said we got to check in with Yahweh, right? Before we get to our creator. But Joshua, Hosea says what? Many days you spent without a king, Israel, without a prince, without sacrifice, without an image, without an ephod, without teraphim. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return. Do we got to check in with JC? And seek HaWah, their power. What power? They use the quiche names to refer to the power of the Old Testament. This pair of powers, this framer and shaper, she, framer, refers to one who makes something by putting things together. I am understanding. Power is mine. I am understanding. Power is mine. I tell you. Power is mine. Matthew 28. Remember, there's a God of the Old Testament. There's a God of the Old Testament, right? Framing the shaper. She who makes something by putting things together. I am understanding, she says in Proverbs 8. Right. Refers to one who makes something by putting things together, building a stone or adobe, a building from stone or adobe. I'm talking foundation, a meal from various ingredients. I am understanding. A woven cloth from individual threads. Naga, that's tribing up. You can't tribe up without her. You can't tribe up without being shaped, without having security in your vibration, without your Abba, without him. Refers to one who makes something by modeling, pottery from clay. I formed you. I shaped you. You're in the vibration. Vibration, sound, frequency is what shapes you, my noggin. 432-9 spiral. The framer and the shaper are the most frequently mentioned powers involved in the creation of the world. This is out the Papa Va, Maya Kishe, hijack free, my noggin. Their names imply that the creation involved giving frame and shape to matter that already existed rather than conjuring something out of nothing. It's already happening, Yosef said. The water already exists. This pair of powers was so important that soon after the Spanish conquest, Father Domenico de Vico used their root names to refer to the power of the Old Testament. Yeah, that's that Papuva, you know. That's that Papuva. Matthew 28, wisdom says, I am understanding. Power is mine. But that God of that New Testament reveals himself right here. This is Zeus. This Zeus. Zeus means swine. This swine says, all authority in heaven on earth has been given to me. But Mama said power is mine. You don't have authority over Mama's power. You don't have all authority, and Mama has none. That's Hijack City, dog. That's Hijack City. And we are the superior Indian of superior India. Getting that superior MeMsauce, that magic sauce, that supernatural magic flow. While they're searching for the magic man, Prester John. Did the black man discover the fountain of youth? That's what they saying. We talking that water, right, Yosef? Con. You got a long time without your scepter, my naga. Without your naga scepter. Hey, out to Kakma Shalom. Click that link below to get your naga scepter from the Aqua. You got a long time without your image, man. Right? But afterwards shall the children of Israel return, seek the Creator, framer, shaper, making something out of something that already exists, like that water that's already here, connected to Nagaville. And then you return, seek, which means you're searching out, Mama. You're searching out Abba. Proverbs 8. And David, their Khan, who got that water, in the latter days. That water is already existing, says the Ak, Yosef the real, for the dismount, my naga. Let go, and we just popping off right out of this Shabbat flow, right on time. It ain't no time, it's only the way. Last time that I checked. Let's get it right here, man. The bros doing this thing. I'm gonna take this dismount right here with this belly flop, man. And we got a lot more coming though. Let's go.
Let's go and get it.
Let's go.
And also the complexity of seawater is a result of soluble elements being taken out of surface water and washed into the ocean.
Which had to come into the ocean by the runoff of rain.
Yeah.
It couldn't be there any other way.
Yeah.
No question
And
about
that is referred to generally as cycle water, or water that's gone through the evaporation, the cloud formation, the precipitation, and then the flow back to the ocean via the rivers.
Why science and the teaching today of science has ignored the presence of about 1,500 big wells or springs in the world that go from 10,000 to 200,000 gallons a minute constantly.
Whoa.
Back into antiquity.
And are way back, and are actually
to the ocean via the rivers.
Yeah.
Why science and the teaching today of science has ignored the presence of about 1,500 big wells or springs in the.
All right. So you just heard this man. He just voiced his opinion. And what he said was the fact that science today, okay, this was in 1985, he said this, they did not want to listen to the fact that these wells, these springs, were pumping out water, okay, 1,500 of them. I'm sorry, 1,500 of them, 1,500. So, back in 1985, they didn't want to hear this, okay, because all that is pretty much who owns the well at that point, right? And you got a monopoly, straight up. Nowadays, they bottle, they sell it to you. That's how it goes down, man. That's how it goes down, my people. They bottle tap water and they sell it to you, man. I mean, you see it. Okay, this was the agenda in 85, was to not believe that there were natural springs, natural wells, okay, that produced water, that was primary water, that is primary water, all right? So they wanted to knock that off, start pushing the agenda. This is a frequency war, all right?
belly flop around this hijack. Hold up. Gonna belly flop around this hijack. But just, as it loads up, think about the importance of primary water. You know what I mean? Of getting this real MeMsauce flowing to the Nagas in every hood, in every ghetto, in every project, wherever we are across Nagarville. We need to get to this primary water. You know what I mean? Like, we need to really get to this primary mem. If not just for distribution, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to tap in, even on the lands that we are, purchasing and different things that we're getting on everywhere that HaWah is leading us to go. You know what I'm saying? That's the water, you know what I mean? And we need to be able to say, okay, we can recognize this. So, later on he gets into the mineralogies and different things that we really got to tap into. And we'll get more, in detail on our own investigation. But how to recognize what primary water is and how to tap into it, I believe is a vital, vital resource for the Naga in 2021, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we know it's all happening, man. You know what I'm saying? We know it's all happening. So just look out for us, man. I'm trying to see if I can reload this thing, man, because I want to make sure I get our dismount right here. And, we know the hijack ain't never like, we know what they do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just so grateful to be here, man. So grateful to talk water again, It's nothing more fundamental beyond the vaccines and the mandates. The primary water.
He said that
Let's get it from here.
frequency war, all right? There's a frequency war. There's an agenda. There's an attack on the people. Okay? Silent weapons, secret wars. Right? Silent weapons, quiet wars. What else? Man, it gets deeper and deeper, right? We got the Agenda 21. All this stuff's taken in play, all right? All right. We start talking about Iron Mountain, you understand me? We start talking about these agendas, about what they're going to do to the water, okay? This is 1985. They didn't want to hear what this man had to say about primary water, all right? There's no reason to retreat it, my Naga.
That go from 10,000 to 200,000 gallons a minute constantly.
Back into antiquity.
From 10,000 to 200,000. From 10,000 to 200,000 gallons a minute.
Come on.
A minute, man. And you're going to sit here and tell us that they ain't got no milk out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we in a drought. We in a drought, right?
We buying bullshit on the shelf. Tired of the lies, people. You heard me? Tired of the lies. I'm trying to get some real men in me, you heard me? Some real men.
And way back, and actually 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system. It's not explained. We have two wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
gallons
per minute.
Right. And 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system. It's not explained.
And just quick, man, that granitic system sounds like grenade. Remember, we were talking about the Hebrew word of the day with this grenade and this Ramon situation. And we talked about the magic man. Or was it grenadic? The Ramon, yeah, the Hebrew word of the day. Yeah. Remember the pomegranate, right? So this is where they get their term Roman, right? Because they want to be connected with these new beginnings. They want to be connected with the promised land. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, don't try to hide it. Let's see if we can get them to release this part of the link, because that's where they're hiding the goods right there. Last time we got them to shake it loose. There we go. What's happening? Oh, man, come on, man. Shake it loose, man. Last time we got them to. Now they gonna try to block it. Look how they did so quick. But you see enough right there, man. Redmond. Hey, but y'all remember, man, we saw this full length last time. Now we gotta pay them some money. Man, y'all some trips, man. Reman is where they're getting the Roman, all right? The Hebrew word for both pomegranate and grenade. So this pomegranate, again, found by Joshua and Caleb to prove that they wasn't. They in the promised land or not. So we're talking superior man in the promised land. And he just said it's a granitic system or granitic system, which reminds me of the pomegranate, which is the Reman, which is the, promised land, new beginnings, Papa of the Ibaru. That's why they want to be the Roman so bad. That's why they're stealing our titles of the real Remani. You can't be a Remani if you're not connected with the promised land, and that's a fact. So this Reman, my nugget, is also a grenade. Right? That's when you pop it off. That's when you blowing up, you know what I mean? That's that Dracan comb, the Hebrew word for both pomegranate and grenade. And we're talking about the granitic system. Let's get that again, man. For the dismount into this primary water again. Come over here, man, and make sure you're in the classroom. Click the link below. Yosef the Real. Hey, man, make sure you're tuning in every Monday, 8 o'clock Pacific, 432 The Drop Radio. Let's get this again.
We have two wells in America, or spring.
From 10,000 to 200,000.
Come on, let's go.
Gallons a minute.
Let's go.
A minute, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna sit here and tell us that they ain't got no MeMsauce, you know what I mean? Come on, man. And we buying bullshit on the shelf. Tired of the lies, people. You heard me? Tired of the lies. Trying to get some real men, you heard me? Some real men.
And way back, and are actually 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system. It's not explained. We have two wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily.
Mm-hmm.
One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
gallons
per minute.
Right. And 8,000, 7,500, 9,000 feet elevation, usually in the granitic system.
In the granitic system, which is back to that grenade or pomegranate, back to that promised land water, superior man.
It's not explained. We have two wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million gallons per minute.
Right. Explained. We have two wells in America, or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is
800 million daily, my dude. And you gonna sit up here and tax us on some mem?
Come on.
Huh?
Come on. Come on.
Sometimes I can't really put my grasp around it, you heard me? Because it gets so heated, you heard me? I just be wanting to, I'm like, damn, man, look, man. 800 million gallons of water, two wells in America. Alright? So who's rocking with them? Because them wells been there. indigenous people, the indigenous, all right, the copper color, all right, of Tamari, okay, Tamari, all right, let's go, man, let's get this, man. Wells that been here, man, been here, my.
One is in Missouri and the other is in the America or springs in America. They produce 800 million daily. One is in Missouri and the other is in the desert in western Oregon.
800 million
Gallons.
gallons per minute.
Right. And
Per day.
The one in Oregon, western desert of Oregon, is producing the Day River. So where did it come from? If that was rainwater, all the rain in the state of Oregon and annual precipitation wouldn't flow that spring 1 month a year.
And the river flows 12 months a year.
Yeah, but it's flowing 12 months, yeah.
See, we had talked a little earlier about some of the chemical differentiation and compositions of the rock involved with the specific location of the wells that you've been drilling. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
The main thing is if you study your structure, if you have volcanic debris from the earlier tertiary period maybe, or even earlier, like here in this.
We're talking about volcanic debris. What we talking about, man? We're talking about Dracan layers, right? So he said, if you study your structure, okay, and if you know where these volcanic eruptions that have happened before, let's see. We're only talking Dracans and Mem. Man, it's a fire drop, man. Let's go.
This country, this year is all 100 to 150 million year old before it came out of the ocean. Tertiary period maybe, or even earlier, like debris. The main thing is if you study your structure, if you have volcanic debris from the earlier tertiary period maybe, or even earlier, like here in this country, this year is all 100 to 150 million year old before it came out of the ocean. There we have
that boy said this country here like 100, 150 million years old, you understand me, man, before it came out the water. Yeah. Alright, man, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Alright. HaWah, you heard me? Let's go get it.
We have contamination produced by the tertiary period maybe, or even earlier. Like here in this country, this year is all 100 to 150 million year old before it came out of the ocean. There we have contamination produced by the decomposition. The minerals fall apart, they dissolve, whether it's copper, lead, zinc, or whatever the minerals are, aluminum, they get into solution. And then you find them all in the water. Where there is high chlorine, you get a high chlorinated water. And often so bad, it's absolutely unusable. But in every event, it's very, very damaging to human life, to plant life, and harmful.
You're speaking in terms of groundwater at this point?
Yeah,
as far as
present groundwater. But when you go and consider those very big, deep sources of water, usually coming in as springs on the high mountain systems worldwide, and usually are a lake, and a big lake at times, then we end up dealing with something that could never come from the precipitation cycle, because where there is high chlorine, the ocean, there we have contamination produced by the decomposition. The minerals fall apart, they dissolve, whether
He's talking about water on the ground right now.
It's copper, lead, zinc, or whatever the minerals are, aluminum, they get into solution. And then you find them all in the water. Where there is high chlorine, you get a high chlorinated water. And often so bad, it's absolutely unusable. But in every event, it's very, very damaging to human life, to plant life, and harmful.
You're speaking in terms of groundwater at this point,
Yeah,
as far as
present groundwater. But when you go and consider those very big, deep sources of water, usually coming in as springs on the high mountain systems worldwide, and usually are a lake, and a big lake at times, then we end up dealing with something that could never come from the precipitation cycle, because it just isn't available. Never was. You can't get precipitation water on a steep mountain range more than about 1 inch per 1 inch of water per foot of land. And if you had a 10-inch rain, you have about 10 inch of heavy saturated ground. Then it's all over. There's nothing going down below 20 or 30 feet.
Certainly not through impervious granite
Why
5,000 feet thick.
Not even through the soil.
Not even through the clay.
No, couldn't. It's impossible.
So it runs off on the surface and picks up more contamination as it goes.
And out she goes in the ocean, and then that's the damn trouble. That they are getting it here when it's damaged and ruined if they drill it very shallow holes. If that rain.
You see what he's getting at? That's the problem. That's where they get it from. Okay? That's where they get it from. That's where they're getting our water from. We run it back.
Never was. You can't get precipitation water on a steep mountain range more than about 1 inch per 1 inch of water per foot of land. And if you had a 10-inch rain, you have about 10 inch of heavy saturated ground. Then it's all over. There's nothing going down below 20 or 30 feet.
Certainly not through impervious granite
Why
5,000 feet thick.
Not even through the soil.
Not even through the clay.
No, couldn't. It's impossible.
So it runs off on the surface and picks up more contamination as it goes.
And out she goes in the ocean, and then that's the damn trouble. That they are getting it here when it's damaged and ruined if they drill it very shallow holes. If that rainwater gets off and gets into the valley to highly porous sand and gravel, of course it sinks. And they call that the water table, which it is.
It sinks to bedrock, but to only the top of the bedrock,
That's
not
all it
below
is, just a basin. It's basin water, that's all there is to it. And it's accumulated for centuries. Now we are pumping it away at about 9 times the rate
of its accumulation.
of precipitation. And it's ridiculous. I seen a report here right today in the paper where they're talking about treating 200 million gallons of sewage daily in this county.
Yes, you mentioned that before.
Well, there it is in the newspaper.
Okay, as opposed to the system of the groundwater, ground table water, basically.
Yeah.
We were speaking earlier also
Right.
of the water coming from the earth in the form of steam, as you had mentioned,
Right.
Ross. And you had indicated that as this comes in the form of steam, basically it's condensing. It comes up and condenses and comes up through the fractures and filters at that point. Could you elaborate a little more on some of the other chemical changes that occur as the steam is coming up and the water is clearing itself? Or
The steam generally reduces 1% of its volume to a heavy moist condition.
Right.
Saturated air.
Heavy saturated. And then it usually is locked in with the metals and the minerals and remains there for an unexplainable length of time. But eventually it's liberated. Because
the water be liberated.
No, the whole system.
Okay.
Eventually the water will dissolve any substance on this planet,
Right.
no matter what it is.
Everything is soluble.
Everything's soluble, or whether it's land, rock, or whatever
Even
you call
gold,
it.
silver, and
Metals and whatever. It'll dissolve it. That's all there is to it. And then you have it in solution. You can eventually the water will dissolve any substance on this planet, no matter, and remains there for an unexplainable length of time. But eventually it's liberated.
Free.
Because
the water be liberated.
No, the whole system.
Okay.
Eventually the water will dissolve any substance on this planet.
Right.
no matter what it is.
Everything is soluble.
Everything's soluble, or whether it's land, rock, or whatever
Even
you call
gold,
it.
silver, and
Metals and whatever. It'll dissolve it. That's all there is to it. And then you have it in solution. You can analyze the seawater right now and you find practically everything in that we have in the form of solids.
Every soluble element is in seawater, virtually.
There's no question about that. But on the other hand, if you then recognize it's land, rock, or whatever
even
you call
gold,
it,
silver, and
metals and whatever, it'll dissolve it. That's all there is to it. And then you have it in, eventually it's liberated. Because
the water be liberated?
No, the whole system.
Okay.
Eventually the water will dissolve any substance on this planet.
Right.
No matter what it is.
Everything is soluble.
Everything's soluble, or whether it's land, rock, or whatever
even
you call
gold,
it.
silver, and
Metals and whatever. It'll dissolve it. That's all there is to it. And then you have it in solution. You can analyze the seawater right now and you find practically everything in that we have in the form of solids.
Every soluble element is in seawater, virtually. There's
no question about that. But on the other hand, if you then recognize that photosynthesis, which is this plant life, the grasses, the trees, everything that's green and living, consumes 600 billion gallons daily, worldwide. That's enough water to empty the last gallon of water in the ocean in less than 3 million years. So what about the rest of it? Ever since water in the ocean in less than 3 million years, living, recognize that photosynthesis, which is this plant life, the grasses, the trees, everything that's green and living, consumes 600 billion gallons daily, worldwide. That's enough water to empty the last gallon of water in the ocean in less than 3 million years. So what about the rest of it? Ever since tertiary period, 15, 16 million years ago, the ocean has raised by 1/3 of its total capacity.
As a result of the production of this primary water, which you're now extracting at the stream.
Damn right, it's gradually breaking out and it's showing up. We got a record of, I have the record of 915 springs. They go over 10,000 to 200,000 and a larger proportion of them.
Man, you hear it, man. This water's getting harder and harder to be contained. Man, water is incompressible. He said it's popping up in the ocean floor. You heard me? It's popping up because the oceans are rising. You heard me? Let me tell you something, man. This climate warming, man, that's bogus. You heard me? That's bogus. You heard me? We don't click clap with no climate warming, man. That's BS, man. We got primary water shooting up from the ocean. You heard me? Raising up the levels. This is back in 1985. Okay. This is back in 1985. All right. We're not drinking the primary water. Okay. We're not using the primary water. So we got a problem. We got a situation, man. All right. Why are we not using the primary water? Why?
And that's what we're going to pick up on. Why? Why are we not using the primary MeMsauce? You know, we got a purpose, my nigga. Whether it's, gathering the frequency, you know what I'm saying? The real ones, whether it's getting water to the Nagas or getting the awareness of the water so that the Nagas can tap in to the MeMsauce. We have a purpose when we talk MeMsauce, man. Love to Yosef the real. Hey, you get the drop, man. Click the link below. You watch the whole thing. You fall back. You can also go dig on that interview, What is Primary Water? 1985 interview with Dr. Stephen Reese RIESS, and get the drop. We'll definitely keep the water flowing around here, man. We'll definitely keep the water flowing around here, man. Because the fire keep burning. As long as we know we got the fire burning, then we know we can keep the water flowing. Hey, tune in to 432 The Drive, man. Dragon Child popping off, man, exposing. I think he was talking about them, that Kodak Black and some, just get in there, man. Chime in with my bro, Dragon Child. He over there on an investigation for real, for real. Hey, we surfing the wave and the drop, chatter, chat. We got Spider-Man. We got a Spider-Man prophet, man. I don't know what's going on, man. But I do know we got the water flow at 432 The Drop. Radio. They say, why you got the water flowing, Drop? Because it's time to get on that superior MeMsauce. To listen to Amah and HaWah who die. The waters of Udall. All Baruch to your tribe. All Baruch to the tribe. Carrying the frequency of that MeMsauce. Seeking HaWah only. Halal HaWah. Because only when you do that can you connect to the water. Back to the Prester investigation. Look out for Prester 71 coming in hot. I appreciate every single one of you for surfing the wave with a Naga. And all my Nagas right here in Nagaville. Go click that link to support Joy World. Please, my Naga, click the link below for Joy World. This is the mark number 1. Help us hit our checkpoint. Help us hit our mark number 1 so we can build our fence in blue, purple, red fashion. Hey, out to all the contributors. 500 code keeping Nagas. Let's keep the water flowing. Let's keep it flowing for Joy World. Shalom to the tribe. Hey, Shalom Drop Nation. We've been patiently waiting. 500 years. That water continues. The immortal Nagas. You were made to live forever. Dripping in that MeMsauce. Halal HaWah.